Torres for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Our subcommittee has jurisdiction over housing and insurance. The most commonly heard complaint that I've heard about the cost of housing is the crippling cost of insurance. Property insurance, liability insurance, which has been rising rapidly at a rate that affordable housing cannot afford. And so I would love to hear from each of you, what are your thoughts on what can be done to rein in the upward spiral in insurance costs?
I guess I can start if you like, Congressman.
Sure.
Thank you very much for the question, and you're absolutely right. The cost of insurance over the last couple of years has risen far in excess of many of the other operating costs and of our revenues at our properties. The degree to which that is influenced by casualty insurance is one factor, and we have to find ways to rein in the inflation on construction costs as one of the ingredients to rein in the cost of casualty insurance. Another, as you mentioned, is in liability. And liability insurance has increased proportionately with the increase in liability costs due to the inflationary nature of settlements that are occurring. So there's a broad range of causes, and I think we all need to work together not only to rein in any kind of price gouging that occurs, but to look at what are the causes of the insurance increases in the first place. I'm aware that many casualty insurance companies today are operating at current ratios that exceed 100%, meaning that their losses are exceeding the amount of premium that they're earning. So there are a lot of causes that we have to look at in order to rein this in.
Ms. Couch?
Thank you for the question. Rising insurance costs are a gigantic issue for affordable senior housing providers, and I think for all HUD-assisted housing providers. We need, in the senior housing space, we need products that are tailored to affordable senior housing. Too often, insurance providers couch senior housing as a healthcare setting, which it is not. It is an independent living setting. But to meet rising costs, to have to be able to buy insurance for their deductibles even, because the deductibles have gone so high, our members are cutting their wellness programs, and not just to help pay for their rising insurance costs and their insurance on their deductible costs, but so that they don't get classified as having a wellness program, which is really counter to their missions to help residents age in place. We know that HUD is working really hard on this issue, trying to figure out what it can do for a largely state-regulated issue. We wonder, though, if HUD could be authorized by Congress to establish a property and liability insurance product of its own, so that the affordable housing programs within its universe could get some relief here.
The supply of senior housing is catastrophically lagging behind the need. America is in the midst of a silver tsunami, and we need to create enough senior housing to meet the needs of an aging population. According to a June 2024 report from Live On New York, there are more than 300,000 applications on the waiting list for HUD 202 senior housing, a program that is a shell of its former self. There's a narrative from my Republican colleagues that the government can only do harm to the housing market. It can do no good. I think economics tells us that when you subsidize something, you will get more of it. Ms. Couch, if we were to subsidize HUD 202 senior housing, would we get more of it?
We would have a lot more housing stability among older adults. We'd have a lot more units of affordable senior housing. HUD Section 202 program is HUD's flagship senior housing program, and it has been grossly underfunded, and now it is zeroed out for new housing. And this program, in its heyday, did exactly what we would want an affordable housing program to do. It provided the vast majority of the capital subsidy to build the housing, and then, and what it still does today, is it provides 40 years of ongoing operating subsidy. So you're never too poor to live in Section 202 housing, and your rent is always affordable to you. So we are huge fans of the Section 202 program, and our members are too.
Yeah. And there's a real need for innovation in housing, like innovations, whether it be modular construction, vertically integrated modular construction, 3D printing, has the potential to drive down the cost of housing. So I think we should think about how do we make the process of constructing affordable housing itself more affordable.
Bring it. Yeah, we're ready.
And I see my time has expired. Thank you.
I thank the gentleman.